Okay.
Hey.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good.
Good. You getting your light and everything straight? You good?
Yeah. I think I'm about to turn on another light.
What I'd like for you to do is just to introduce yourself.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I am Janelle Goodwin. I'm married to Joshua Goodwin Sr. and that is Jean G's son. I'm trying to like do your yeah, her youngest son. I am a YouTuber as well, and I do beauty, lifestyle. We have a son who's 2 years old. He's about to be 3. His name is Joshua J. I'm from North Carolina, and I have locks.
And that's what I've been telling my subscribers, that I'm not the only one with locks. I'm just the only one with Sisterlocks.
Yes, right.
So Tate, how long have you had your locks?
I've had them for almost 5 years. Yes, almost 5 years. Or no, almost 6 years. It'll be 6 years on February 19th.
Who or what inspired you to get locks?
Everybody. Honestly, it's so funny because growing up, I don't know, I just always found them fascinating and just so gorgeous, but it wasn't like a trend. People who were teachers who were in my school, they had them and they were so long and beautiful. I used to see kids have them. But right around the time where I was thinking about putting them in, I think it was like, I want to say 2 or 3 girls on the track team that had them, and I talked to them about it personally. My mom had them at the time, and I mean, she still does now. She has Sisterlocks, but at the time, she just had regular locks, and then she took them out and then transitioned to Sisterlocks. But yeah, it was a lot of people in my life.
Okay. And so when you say regular locks, you're talking about the traditional locks, the locks where you palm roll,
right,
to retwist. So you
right.
They pretty much have the same kind of locks.
Right, yeah.
Just that hers are new.
Right, exactly.
Okay. Have you ever questioned your decision to get traditional locks?
No, I've never questioned my decision. I will say that I've always said if I were to cut my locks like all the way off, I would probably do Sisterlocks. If I were to want to like bring that style back. But no, I've never questioned it. Nope.
Okay, all righty. What would you do differently as you reflect on your years with traditional locks? Is there anything that you would do differently?
I don't think I would change anything because I feel like I took my experience very serious and I was okay with each part of my journey. So I knew once I started, I wanted to start from the bottom, as they would say. So I like actually cut more of my hair off so it could start from the root. And I embraced how I looked and my hair being short, and it was like a decision to grow with my locks. So yeah, I don't think that there's many things that I regret, no, or I would change.
Okay. And when you decided to get traditional locks, who did it?
Oh, Lord. Okay, so there were 2 ladies involved. Miss Robin, she did, I went to her shop, but it was somebody else that actually did my locks. I feel so bad because I cannot remember her name for the lady. But Miss Robin and another, I think her name was Miss D. I cannot remember her like full name, but Miss Robin and Miss D. Yeah.
Oh, it was definitely professionally done.
Oh yes.
Great. And as time went by, did you always have your hair professionally retwisted, or did someone else ever retwist your hair? I think I did.
Oh, yeah. Yes. I think it took me a while though. So for I want to say the first I want to say 2 years, I let only Miss D or only Miss Robin touch my hair. I didn't even reach my hair. So yeah, I think that was for the first 2 years. And then I think it was like once I moved from to Charlotte, you know, that's when like you got to find somebody else. So I think that's when I started retwisting my own hair, or I would go visit them, you know, because it was like every other month. And I think my mom had retwisted, you've retwisted my hair, Josh, my husband, had retwisted it, but not that many people. But yeah, people have.
Okay. When you decided to get traditional locks, what was the response from family and friends? What did they say?
Oh man, it was a mixture of positive things like, oh, that's so great, and I'm so proud of you, or oh man, I really want to get locks, you know, I might get them because you got them now. And the other side was, well, why'd you cut your hair? Or, you know, why didn't you let your hair grow out a little bit longer? You know, there's always like that I guess stigma for women, you know, you want your hair to be long and healthy. But I came from a family that was pretty strong-minded, so I didn't mind if people said that. But I think I got a mixture of like positive, and it wasn't completely negative, but for somebody else that may have been taken negatively. But yeah, I got like a mixture of responses.
Have you ever worn weaves, sew-ins, that kind of thing? Because I don't know that person.
Oh yes, I have done it all. Yes, absolutely. I have worn, like you said, everything. The only thing that I haven't done was wig, but everything else, like if something was trending, like I've done, what were they, micro braids? I've done box braids. I've had weaves, sew-ins. I've had my hair dyed. Everything that you could think of, I've done. I've even, you know, my loose natural, done twist outs, all of that. So yeah, it was different to transition, knowing that I would not be able to, I mean, I could, but knowing that this was a commitment. Yeah, it was different.
How long would you say your hair is now after 5 years? And do you remember how long it was when you got started?
I absolutely remember how long it was. How long it is now. When I look in the mirror, it's like, it's almost, I want to say it's definitely past my shoulders. I want to say it's almost to my mid-back area now. It's funny because I got it up now, and I didn't even think about this. But when I started, they were like this small, because they were literally like just attached to my head. So like, it's like this small. Yeah.
And did they do a finger coil, a comb coil?
They did 2-strand twists.
Okay, 2-strand twists.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't even think about your hair starting that way.
Mm-hmm.
And now that you are 5 years in, products, shampoos, oils, what do you use on your hair?
Honestly, I don't really, okay. Shampoos, I'm not as strict, I guess. Whereas before, that's one of the reasons why I only let certain people touch my hair. But nowadays, I don't have like a preference for a shampoo. So I'm trying to think, what is my shampoo called? I think it's like either by Cantu or by, I can see the bottle, but I cannot think of their name. It's one of those. And then as far as products, I literally just oil my hair with vitamin E mostly, because I want it to grow and just, you know, be strong. And every now and then I'll do a deep cleanse, you know, let it soak in apple cider vinegar and like get everything out. But that's like almost every 6 months. But on a day-to-day, when I retwist, I would use Eco Style, and it's like the one that has like vitamin E and all that stuff in it. Or the African Cantu, something like that.
Okay. When you met Joshua at Locs,
Yes, he did. That's funny because when you first asked me who inspired me, Josh honestly was one of those people during those times, because that's what I was attracted to, was guys with locks.
So Joshua's locks must have looked the best.
They looked real good.
But do you ever, think about it and miss him wearing the locks?
Yeah, I do. But it's funny because like we switched. So I don't know. I do miss him with locks, but I love him just for him. But if he were to grow his locks back, yeah, I would, of course, I would be all for it. Like, I would be excited and, to watch that process now from the beginning. So yeah, I do miss it.
Okay. And I know that Joshua J has a lot of hair.
Yes.
You do all these different things. Sometimes he wears it out, but mostly you keep it braided or in plaits or something.
Yeah, right.
Do you ever think that you and Joshua will make a decision to let him or to lock his hair?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So honestly, when he was, I had that first thought, well, before he was born, I had the first thought, but to actually lock it, I think was right before he turned 1, I wanted to lock it. And I don't know if you remember that, but he had 2-strand twists in his hair. Mm-hmm. And oh my gosh, this is so funny. I've always wanted to lock his hair, but every time I ask somebody, and actually the girl that used to retwist, and there's a third person that I let retwist my hair that was professional. Her name is Tanesha, and she has sons. And I was asking her, I was like, so when would you start locking your son's hair? And she said, typically around 4 to 5, like maybe around right before they go to school, because their hair texture changes so much. And I'm glad I waited, because Joshua J's hair texture changes so much. It is so crazy, but I do want to lock his hair. And Josh and I talk about that all the time. He's, for him, he's like, hey, I'm not going to be the one locking it. So whenever you're ready, you just say, hey, I'm locking it today or whatever. But yeah.
Right. You are now in a family where pretty much our immediate family, everybody has natural hair.
Yep.
And I didn't always have Sisterlocks. When you married Joshua, I didn't have Sisterlocks.
Right, yep.
And I will end this session the same way I end Nevaeh's session. How did you feel when you found out that I was getting, or that I had gotten, Sisterlocks?
I was really excited because I remember when I was even talking to you about it, and I was saying I thought that you would look really good in locks. And I remember our conversation had started from there. And then, I don't know if it was a few weeks later, you said you had was exploring, and then you called me and was like, oh yeah, I looked into some Sisterlocks. I was like, oh yeah, my mom has those. And you exploring, and then come back, and it was like every time I was like, oh, she's gonna get them. And so when you finally told me, I was like, yes. Oh, I'm so excited. I was so happy, because it's just like when you can't explain a feeling to somebody unless they experience it. So me telling people, I tell people all the time, like, trust me, like, you are gonna love your locks. Like, you're gonna feel healthier, you're gonna feel more feminine even, you're gonna, feel empowered and all this stuff. And I can't, my words can only go but so far. So when you decided to get it, I was like, oh, this is gonna be so great. And for you to have your own personal experience and want to know everything about them, and having a really in-depth journey and sharing it on YouTube, it's just been great. It's been great to watch.
Well, I just want to say to everybody that I want you to support my daughter, Chinyere, on her YouTube channel. I will certainly place a link in the description box so that everybody will know how to get to your channel. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate this in my series of presenting my natural hair family members to the G&G family. And to end this video, I'll end it the way I always do. This is a sister who loves her locks. I love my friends. I love my family. I love my followers and my subscribers. But I especially love God because he keeps blessing me over and over again. And he puts people in my life like Chinyere, who loves my son like no one else could. And I know my son because I lived with him. And he's marvelous. He's marvelous.
Oh my goodness.
Girl, thank you so much.
Of course. It was a pleasure, for real. So thank you for having me too.
Yes, ma'am. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.